Every empire believes it's special. Rome thought it would last forever. Britain said the sun would never set on their power. America thinks the dollar will rule the world permanently. They were all wrong. Every single one. Right now, the United States is sitting in the exact same stage that came right before collapse for every major empire in history. And here's the thing. It's not random. There's a pattern they all followed, step by step, like a script written thousands of years ago. If you think this is just doom talk, stay with me for the next 4 minutes, because what I'm about to show you is already happening. Welcome to Limitless Tomorrow. So what is this pattern? Think of it like a 5-act play that every empire performs before the curtain falls. Act 1. Expansion. You conquer land, resources, trade routes. You become the powerhouse everyone fears and respects. Act 2. Peak dominance. Your currency becomes the one everyone wants. Global trade runs through your money. You're untouchable. Act 3. Overstretch. But here's where it starts to crack. Too many wars. Too many promises, too much debt piling up faster than you can manage. Now this is the critical moment. A smart empire would cut back, tighten the belt, get its house in order. But that's not what happens. Instead, they look for shortcuts. Act 4. Money games. Rome started mixing cheap metals into their coins. Britain fired up the printing presses. America, we print trillions and call it stimulus. This is where the real danger begins, because you're not fixing the problem, you're just hiding it. Act 5. Collapse of trust. Eventually, the world looks at your money and says, "We don't trust this anymore." They start trading in other currencies. They build systems that bypass you entirely. And when that trust breaks, power doesn't fade slowly. It falls off a cliff. So here's the uncomfortable question. Which stage does America look like right now? We're deep into stage 4, staring at stage 5. And the signs? They're already flashing red. Let me show you 4 things happening right now that most people aren't paying attention to, but they should be. Signal 1. BRICS is building around the dollar. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and more countries joining every year. They're trading oil and commodities in their own currencies instead of dollars. When the countries that control global energy start avoiding your currency, that's not a warning sign. That's a fire alarm. Signal 2. Central banks are buying record amounts of gold. Think about that for a second. The institutions that control national currencies, the ones who are supposed to believe in paper money, they're quietly trimming their dollar holdings and stacking physical gold. They're not warning you. They're just preparing. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these signals concerns you most? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. Signal 3. New payment systems are going live. China's CIPS system lets countries move money without ever touching dollar-based networks. Russia and Iran are doing the same thing. The world isn't just complaining about dollar dominance anymore. They're actively practicing for life after it. Signal 4, America's debt addiction has no off-ramp. We're sitting on tens of trillions in debt with no realistic path to paying it back. To keep the system running, we have to borrow more and print more. And here's the thing. No empire in history has survived this stage forever. Notice how mainstream media isn't covering these signals? That's not an accident. The system needs you to keep trusting the dollar, while the insiders quietly prepare for what's next. The dollar won't vanish next week, but the world is already building the exits, which brings us to the part that actually matters to you. Because when a reserve currency loses its crown, it's not just some abstract economic event. It hits your wallet directly, and it hits fast. First, imports explode in price. Fuel, food, electronics, medicine, anything that comes from outside your borders suddenly costs way more. Your paycheck stays the same, but everything you need to buy gets more expensive. Second, your savings melt. The number in your bank account might look the same, but what it can actually buy shrinks brutally fast. You're getting poorer without spending a single dollar. Third, governments respond with control. More monitoring of your transactions, more temporary emergency measures that somehow never go away, more restrictions on what you can do with your own money. Want to see what this looks like in real life? Look at Britain after the pound fell from reserve status. Living standards dropped. A global empire became a mid-level power, and it happened faster than anyone expected. Now imagine that same collapse happening in a world of AI surveillance and programmable digital currencies. As trust in the old money dies, new forms of money appear. More digital, more centralized, and far easier to control. Here's the truth. You can't vote your way out of an empire cycle. The pattern is too big, too old, too embedded in how power works. But you can choose your position inside it. Will you be one of the people crushed under the rubble, or one of the few who saw it coming early enough to adapt? If you want to understand how we got to this breaking point, I've broken down the wealth systems trapping the middle class in my previous videos. The one on the American dream connects directly to what I just showed you. Check it out. And seriously, drop a comment below. Which of these 4 signals concerns you most? I read every response, and your perspective matters. Thanks for watching Limitless tomorrow.